Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Hot Topic series. Today's hot topic. When I say hot topic, I mean an exciting news article from around the world. The most interesting thing I could find late last night. The Mars venture has taken a giant leap backwards. We're going to talk all about how one particular person shortlisted to go to Mars has changed his mind and the reasons why. All of that and more, lots and lots of vocabulary and many other things coming up in just a moment. While we're waiting for some people to join us, let's do a quick introduction. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you today from Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. And if you click on the link in the chat window, where it says John Eric Verbling Teacher, you can follow me to see all my upcoming group classes. You can also book a private tutoring class with me, where I will custom tailor the lessons to meet your particular goals. So, let's give everyone about a minute and a half or so to join us. If you're out there watching and you see the clock on the upper right side of the page, you can join. I think there's actually a space, but if there isn't space, you'll be able to join in less than 2 minutes. Just click on the join button when the clock runs out. So, I've been teaching on Verblings for 2 years. I've taught over 1,000 classes since February of 2013. And over the last 15 years, I've taught general English to teens and adults, business English to companies like Deloitte, BP, Prada, Boston Consulting Group, many other multinationals, and even exam courses like the IELTS and the TOEFL at universities and high schools around the world. So, if you have a particular issue in English, bring it to me and I'll find a solution with you. We'll work together on a personal learning plan. And that is enough about me. What about you? Let's say hello to our esteemed Mr. Cornell. Hello, esteemed Mr. Cornell. How are you?
Hi, John. I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Everyone is still, maybe everyone is on Mars today.
Or everyone is sleeping somewhere.
Seems like a lot of people were online, so I don't think they're sleeping, but they're a little late coming in. Here is
Or they are on the way from the other class.
Yeah.
Like me. Like me.
It looked like the other two classes ended a little late, actually. But that's okay. We'll give them time. So this is the material. I chose that picture because it was the only picture I could find quickly, and it has nothing to do with our topic. Do you know what that picture is?
No, it's a very strange picture.
That's Curiosity, the thing that's on Mars right now, that's driving around.
It might be about industry industry revolution from England.
From England? What do you mean?
From England, it is a technically revolution which was in I don't know when.
You lost me, Cornell. I'm lost.
And it is talking about the 19th century when the Industrial Revolution in England.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's that got to do with Mars? That's where you lost me. I understand the Industrial Revolution, but I don't understand Mars. Do you see that picture? That
it is history.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I chose that picture because it was red, and it has something to do with Mars, but not the thing we're going to be talking about today. It's got something else. Let's, first of all, you're all familiar with the Mars mission, aren't you? The private one, not any NASA venture. I'm talking about private companies raising money and shortlisting people. you familiar with that?
No, I'm not. I heard about it, but I'm not familiar with that.
Well, there was a contest to see who in the world wants to go to Mars. People were shortlisted. That means that there was a group that was selected. And if I understood correctly, part of the mission is that it would become a reality TV show. Of course, it's never going to happen, but they don't go out and say that. It seems next to impossible.
What I heard is those people going to Mars, they're not coming back. They're going to stay there.
Yeah, they're not going either. They're not going and they're not coming back because it's not going to happen.
Why?
Because I think it's just a big media hype. I don't think it's real. It's true that they've raised money. That's true. And it's true that you're supposed to go on a one-way ticket. That's true too. But I think that it was never serious because it's logistically.
So we've been ripped off. I mean, I thought it was for real. They were going to do that.
I think that's the idea. At least one person has come forward and said that we've been ripped off. But it's not really we, because it's not public money. It's not NASA.
Yeah.
So it's not tax money. But yeah, some people have given millions of dollars and euros. So I think that's the idea. Well, before we read, where is everyone today? What is going on? There were plenty of people earlier, last hour.
Yeah.
Where is everyone?
That's quite strange because I couldn't reserve the class because it was full booked. And I come here only just 3 of us.
Yeah, I know. And this one is
Quite
fully
strange.
booked as well.
That's why I'm telling you.
I wonder what's going on. Maybe they'll join us later. Anyway, let's get started. Here's what we're going to do. Before we read, we're going to do a little bit of vocabulary work. By the way, if you want the link to the original article, you've got it here on page 3. If you want to read the actual article later, we're going to read it. But if you want the original, it's there in The Guardian. First question. Who said this? That's one small step for man.
Armstrong.
Did he? Do you know?
You mean
Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong, the famous trumpet player?
Trumpetist?
Is that right? Which Armstrong do you mean, Cornell?
It was the first man who landed I don't know the English word to not Marsh. I have to check on the dictionary.
Well, you can ask me.
Yeah, what is it?
The moon.
Moon. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That's Neil Armstrong, not Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Yeah. I said Armstrong, so it was true.
It's true. It is. I was just fooling with you. You know why, Cornell?
Sorry?
I was just fooling you. Do you know why I'm fooling you? Because I'm a card. Just like Shinue. I'm a card.
We learned that yesterday.
I know. And he's here today. Are you still a card today, Mr. Shinue?
I am almost dead.
You was what?
I'm almost dead.
Why?
I just came back from the river.
Ah, okay.
I was drowned.
Why did you fish?
He said he almost. Wait. He said he almost drowned. What do you mean you almost drowned?
In a river, there was a big fish. I tried to catch it, but suddenly the fish tried to bite me. I finally ran away.
Wow. Did you wrestle with the fish using your superhuman strength?
I'm a Superman. I run as soon as I can.
Gosh.
You live
I'm
with
Funny.
joking. I'm joking.
Of course. Because
I
you
knew you were joking.
Genuine, are you a Superman or Batman?
he is neither. He is a card, as we learned yesterday. He is a card.
Okay.
Getting back to Mars for a moment. You're absolutely right. It was Armstrong, Neil Armstrong, who said that. Because it was the first time a human being had set foot, there's a great expression for you, had set foot on another planet. In this case, the moon. On a moon, which is kind of like a planet. I wonder if you know some basic facts about Mars. Tell me if you know the answers to these. Cornell, read the first and tell me what you think the answer is.
That's
Let's do a little quiz.
Mars is the... I don't know. My guess is closest planet to the Sun, second planet from the Sun, fourth planet from the Sun.
What do you think?
C.
You think it's C?
Yeah, it is my guess. Yes.
All right. So we're going to go 1C. We'll come back to this in a minute and see at the end if you're right or not. Okay. What do you think, Carmen, for number 2? What do you think?
Number 2. What is another? I go for B, the second smallest planet.
The second smallest in the solar system. Okay. By the way, so far so good. Actually, you're both right. Mr. Shinue, what do you think about C? Oh, that's easy.
That's the only one that I know.
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Genuine, you should know it because you are Superman.
He knows.
Number 3. People often call it the it's tricky.
I know you know it.
He knows it.
Fire planet.
This is joking.
So we're going with the fire planet, is that right?
Red planet.
Oh, he knew it. It's often called the red planet because apparently it has something in the soil, a kind of oxide in the soil, to give it a red look. All right, so we're back to Cornell. I can't believe that no one else is in class. This class is fully booked and no one's here. I can't believe it. I hope some of you people watching feel, I was going to say brave, but there's nothing to be brave about. Come on in. Plenty of room. Cornell, what do you think about number 4? This is a tricky one. There's Raphael. Okay.
It is approximately...
What do you think? This is a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
It is not tricky one because it is answer is the same as the first one.
The answer is the same as the first one.
No. I am thinking of it. Fourth planet. First answer was C, fourth planet from the Sun.
The first answer was C, that's right. So number 4?
Yeah, yeah. But the question is similar to first one.
Make a guess.
Okay.
You're not gonna. No one's gonna hurt you. If you're wrong.
B. My guess is B.
We're gonna go with B. Yeah. Big guess. Mr. Raphael, long time no see. How are you?
I'm pretty fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
I was worried that I wouldn't see you today, but here you are.
You are so kind always.
So before we do this little reading task, we're going to read about a very interesting and perhaps unexpected article about the private Mars mission. But first, I'm giving you a little quiz on what you know about Mars. So, Mr. Raphael, look at question number 5 in the quiz and tell me if you know the answer.
Mars is named after the Nordic god of thunder, the Greek god of fire, the Roman god of war.
What do you think?
The Roman god of war.
Roman god of war. I believe you are right. Excellent. Mr. Shinue, finish it up for number 6. What do you think?
Number 6. Number 6. On Mars, you can find see the tallest mountains in the solar system.
What? Not alien life forms? Really?
And the crew of Mars was, just squad. They were still living there.
I thought for sure you were going to say that that giant fish you were wrestling with earlier today originated on Mars. I thought for sure you were going to say that. Well, the answer is C. That is correct. The tallest mountain in the solar system, as far as we know, because we don't know a whole lot about the solar system, but what we do know is that it's on Mars. And the only one we have to take a look at is number 4, because apparently the number 4 answer is actually A, not B. I don't know what is 900. How do you say that number, Cornell? 900 what? So your answer to number 4 is actually not correct. It's actually A.
A?
Yeah. By the way, can you say that number? It's got a lot of digits.
Thank you.
How do you say that number? It's difficult. It's got
difficult. 227 million
Good.
and 900,000 kilometers.
That's it. 227 million. That's it. It's got a lot of zeros. Okay, so actually, all the answers were correct except for Mars is a little closer than you might have imagined. You know, I thought it was 900 million, but it's only 227 million. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. Now, let's read. Oh, okay, there's something else here, but I think this might take a little bit too much time. It's always good to try to test your knowledge before you read. If we do all of this, I think it's going to take too much time. But maybe what we can do is just the first part quickly, and then I'll ask you about the vocabulary words in the second part. So your goal here is to test your knowledge by matching up some of the key words of the article with definitions that I've put there for you. And I've told you where in the article you can find the words. Okay, so for example, doubts that someone has about something that other people think is true or right. So a name for that. And then you can find it in the original context in paragraph 1. So let me ask you, class, what do you think is the right match for that definition? If you know it, shout it out.
I'm not sure, but I think it's naivety.
Naivety. Anyone else?
It is naive.
Naivety or naivete. Naivety, I guess we say.
I know this.
What is it?
Septarium.
Say again? Repeat?
Septarium. SATICISM.
But remember, you have to choose only the words in the bubble. Mission, skepticism, naivety, shortlist, ranking, rigorous,
Oh no.
viability.
Can I change it? Because I thought it was the other way around.
No, too late.
Oh gosh.
Yes, you can change it.
Okay, for me it's skepticism.
Skepticism.
It's skepticism.
Okay. And let's see if you're right, because if we scroll down to paragraph 1, he is not the first person to express skepticism. So you are actually right. So skepticism is a better match than naivety.
Mm.
So I think it might take too long if we do all of these, but I'll ask you about the first part. I'll give you the definition. If you know the answer, shout it out. Okay? The second part, I'll just make sure that you know the words, and then we'll read. A flight into space, blank. Another way to say a flight into space in this context. What do you think, class? If you know it, shout it out.
Come on.
Raphael knows it. He's
Mission.
raising his hand. Ah,
Mission.
Shinwei knows it. Excellent. A flight into space would be a mission. Mission to Mars. People that you think could be suitable for a job. Oh, Raphael, this one's for you. People that you think could be suitable for a job, chosen from a larger number of people. Out of those, this one's for Raphael. Out of those words in the bubble, Mr. Raphael, what do you think is the best match?
Could you enlarge the page? It's difficult to see from here, please.
I'll try.
Mhm.
Let's see. Can you see? Is that better?
Yeah, better. Thank you.
What do you think is the best match? Remember, you don't have to know the answer. You're
Short,
making an educated guess. Sorry?
short list.
Shortlist is right. So when you're interviewing for a job, you can be shortlisted. Excellent. The fact that someone is able, the fact that something is able to be done or is worth doing. Mr. Cornell, this one is for you. What
Which
do you
one?
think? Number 4.
For the fact that something is able to be done or is worth doing.
Particularly able to be done. I think that's the key idea, more than anything else. The fact that it is able to be done.
Viability.
Because able, ability, viability, you can see the match there. That's it. Thorough and careful. Another way to say thorough and careful. Mr. Shinwei, take this one, number 5. What's the best match for thorough and careful? What do you think? Mr. Shinwei was swallowed by a fish.
I'm thinking.
Oh, he's thinking. Okay.
Rigorous.
Ooh,
Rigorous.
rigorous. I heard that twice.
Rigorous.
Rigorous is right.
Rigorous.
Rigor is how much effort you put into something. Rigorous means a lot of effort. Okay, last one in this little exercise. The quality of lacking experience of life. Carmen, now we have that match from
Yeah.
earlier.
Naivety.
Naivety. There you go. So, just to recap, 1 is skepticism, 2 is mission, 3 is shortlist, 4 is viability, 5 is rigorous, 6 is naivety. And about these, we're not going to match these up, but I do want to ask you if there's any words in this list that you don't know. So I want to hear you say these words. Everyone, pick one. Let's go around the room quickly just to hear your pronunciation. The first word on the left, Carmen?
Cargo.
Cargo, exactly. Cornell, the next one on the left?
Where?
On the left?
Debate.
On the left?
Merchandise.
Good. Merchandise.
Merchandise.
With an S. Merchandise. Okay? Where would you expect to find merchandise? Just so I know that you know. Where would you expect to find merchandise?
Merchandise is a marketing style or form. From merchandise, we get some income from regarding football and sports club
Okay. Okay.
sell dresses and mug and something like that. Everything.
Oh, I get it. I get it now. Yeah. So something that is, and Shinwei says you'd find it in the supermarket, and you could also find it there. It's something that you sell, and I like what you're saying there. It's often a way to market something, like a football club, right? There's a mug with the symbol of the football club.
Or dress.
Right? Exactly, or clothes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Debate, I think that one is pretty easy. I think that's the one that's not so challenging. What about, Raphael, the word right in the middle? Say that one for me.
Rover.
What is a rover? Do you know?
I think it's a kind of car specialized in go in the desert or in Mars.
This case in Mars. You know, drive around the desert or Mars, whatever you prefer. Exactly, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
So maybe it has a different construction so it can handle driving off the road. Exactly. Okay. Let's say a quick hello to Anna Carolina, who's joining us now. Hello, Anna Carolina. How are you?
Hi, teacher. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, yep. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking.
Very good. Now, Anna Carolina, look at the word after rover. Can you say that word for me?
Which word?
The one to the right of the word rover. I want to hear your pronunciation. Can you say that word for me?
Volunteer?
Oh, sorry, not that far right. Between volunteer and... Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Endeavor.
Endeavor. Oh, thank you, endeavor.
It's spelled really strangely, but it's pronounced endeavor. It doesn't look like an That's it. Good.
Okay.
Now, this one's a little more tricky. So, I don't know. What do you think? I think for this one it'd be better to match it to a definition, maybe. What is an endeavor? You can tell me in your own words, or you can look at the definitions from 8 to 14. Whatever's easier. It's a tricky word.
Well, maybe. Let me think. An effort to do something.
Exactly.
Especially something new or difficult.
Exactly. So here, in this article, the endeavor might be going to Mars. It's not easy to do that. So it's a difficult endeavor. It takes effort. Okay, very good.
Effort.
That's it. Okay, and then we have in-person and volunteer. Let's see, Mr. Shinwei, are we having English classes in person right now? Let's make sure we understand the meaning of in person.
Volunteer.
Not volunteer, in person.
Oh, volunteer in person.
Let's focus on in person. If you do something in person, where are you? Are we having English lessons in person right now, would you say, Shinwei? What do you think?
It means you do something without the other person.
Without or with?
Without.
Without? No, with. In person, you're doing it with the other person.
Mm.
So in this definition, the definitions listed, the one that jumps out at me is number 11. Number 11, face to face. So are we having lessons in person? No, we're not. Not really, because we're all on the internet.
Mm.
So kind of, because we can see each other if we want, but we're not physically in front of each other. So in person really means face to face, physically standing in front of another person. I'll meet you in person on the 20th. I will be there next to you. Okay? So keep these not adjectives, sorry. Keep these keywords in mind as we read. Okay? And then I'm going to ask you some questions at the end to see how much you remember. Let's do some reading right now. It's this pretty short article, so we should have time to read it and discuss it. Okay? The title is Shortlisted Mars One Astronaut. Colon. Colon means this is what he says. Venture has taken one giant leap backwards. Oh, doesn't that sound familiar from earlier in class? Because we had Neil Armstrong saying something similar, right? So what's the joke here? What's the ironic thing that the Mars One astronaut is saying? Think back to Neil Armstrong's comment.
Because instead of going forward, it comes backwards.
Yeah. Normally, we think about going to space as progress, not as some kind of regression. That's right. So it's kind of ironic. All right. Let's each take a paragraph or two. Anna Carolina, can you start us off with the first one? These are kind of short.
Okay. He is not the first person to express skepticism about Mars One.
Skepticism.
Skepticism.
Good.
A private mission that aims to send humans to live on Mars from 2025. But Joseph Roche is different from most critics. He is on the short list of astronauts.
Excellent. So if he's on the short list of astronauts, what does that mean? The word short list. He's on the short list of astronauts.
Selected.
Yeah, he's been selected. That's right. So you wouldn't expect a guy on the short list to a very special mission to be expressing skepticism, especially because this has been going on for a few years. Okay. We're each going to take probably two of these, maybe three, because they're quite short. Carmen, number two?
Okay, Roche, an astrophysicist at Trinity College Dublin, was announced in February as one of the 100 people shortlisted for the mission, has written for The Guardian expressing his doubts about the viability on Mars One.
Exactly. He's expressing his doubts about the viability. We saw that word earlier. So what does he doubt? In other words?
It's going to be possible.
If it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Viability, how possible it is. Good. So that vocabulary work earlier is paying off. Okay? If you find a synonym, that means you know the word. Cornell, take number 3 for us.
The selection process, Roche writes, was not rigorous enough to reach the standard of more traditional astronaut selection programs. He also states that Dutch Mars One team have shown certain naivety because they believe they can succeed alone in the $6 billion mission. He says they should now accept it is very unlikely to happen.
Okay, repeat two words. Repeat two words. First, rigorous.
Rigorous.
Yeah, not ridge.
Okay.
It's a hard G. Rigorous.
Rigorous.
Good. Second, when you're talking about money, $6 billion.
$6 billion.
Right. You can't.
It is plural.
You cannot pluralize dollars because $6 billion I can't even give you... Oh, I can tell you why. The reason is because dollar is describing mission. It's an adjective here. So $6 billion is an adjective describing mission. You could say dangerous mission, right? You would never pluralize dangerous. Two dangerous missions doesn't work in English. So for that reason, dollar cannot be pluralized in this case. Does that make sense, Cornell, or is that confusing?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah? Okay. Mr. Raphael, take 4 for us, please.
Roach also expressed worries about the way the mission organizers publicized a top-10 list of candidates. Ranking, he said, didn't mean these were the best astronauts. It was based on how many supported points it had earned.
This is a little bit confusing too. Supporter points. I wonder what that means. First, repeat this word, Raphael. Publicized.
Publicized.
Not poo, but pa. Publicized.
Publicized.
Good. It's very easy to say ed, at the end, like publicize ed. It's very easy to do that, but avoid the temptation, Raphael. In fact, the only time we say the ed is if it ends with a T, so rocket is rocketed, or if it ends with a, there's another one too. I'm just blanking. It'll come to me. But normally, if you have a word that ends with a vibrating sound, zzz, it will always be pronounced like a d, like dog. Publicized. Okay, if it vibrates, it's a D, and zzz vibrates. Okay, Mr. Raphael, the ranking, he said, isn't fair. Is that clear? Why Roche thinks the ranking isn't fair to you? Is that clear? It's not that obvious, but what do you think? Why do you think it's not fair?
I don't know exactly, but as the article said, it's not, the ranking is not did about who are the best astronaut. Only is made based in supported points. Perhaps for this reason is not unfair.
Exactly. So we need to know what supporter points mean, and then we'll know why he thinks it's unfair. But you got the right idea. It's not based on the best. Interesting. Okay. Mr. Shinue, actually you're going to do 5 and 6 because the 5 is really short. Take it away.
Which paragraph?
5 and 6.
5 and 6. Can you move the document? I cannot see the paragraph 5.
No? Is that better? Can you see it now?
I open the document I download.
Okay. So we're
Number
on...
5.
Yeah, that's it.
Number 5. He says that these points only show how much each supporter has donated to Mars One. For example, by official merchandise.
Now we know what supporter points are. Now we know. So before you go on, Shinue, hold on.
Number 6.
Wait a second.
Hold on.
Before you go on, now we know the reason why Roche is upset. So, how do you get supporter points? Let's just be clear on this particular point before we move on. How do you get supporter points if you're on the Mars One team? Let's make sure this is clear. Based on that little sentence there.
If you want to get the support, you can buy official merchandise.
Exactly. So, in other words, the contest isn't based on who's the best. It's based on who earns the most money. That's the complaint. Supporter points are an equivalent to the money that's donated. Just wanted to make sure that's clear because it's a bit confusing. Okay, keep going. Number 6, Mr. Shinue.
Number 6. The official timeline for the mission says the group plans to send a stationary lander and satellite to the Mars in 2018, followed by a rover in 2020 and cargo missions starting in 2022. Humans would start arriving in 2025, and the crews of 4 would be sent every 2 years to the settlement. They would not return to Earth.
Okay. By the way, if you want to speed up the reading, you can always say 2022 instead of 2022, 2018 instead of 2018. Because, you know, sometimes it gets a little bit slow if you have to say lots and lots of dates. So you can always break it into half. 2018, 2020, 2022, 2025. You can't do that if it's from 0 to 10. Well, 10 you can, but 0 to 9. You can't say 21. That one makes sense. But you could say 2010. So once you get to the 10s, you can always break the dates into 2 parts. Okay? So what year is it this year, Mr. Shinue?
What?
So what year is it this year?
This year is 2015.
You failed the test.
20.
Yes.
2015.
You passed the test. Excellent.
Which one you right?
The one that is easiest to say is the right one. So, as long as it's after 2010, we can always make it faster by breaking it up into 2 digits and 2 digits. So, 2015, if it's easier to say, then that's what we say. If you want to give special attention to the word, then you say 2015. Okay? Anyway, there's no right or wrong, actually. We just say the easiest one. Okay, we're back to Anna Carolina. Oh, I'm sorry, question?
No question. It's your turn.
Anna Carolina, we're back to you for number 7. 7 and 8, sorry.
Okay. In February, a supporter of the project, Gerard T. Hooft, a Dutch Nobel laureate in physics, said he did not believe this timetable was realistic. He said, "It will take quite a bit longer and be quite a bit more expensive." When they first asked me to be involved, I told them, "You have to put a 0 after everything." Roche also said that there were not 200,000 people who applied to be astronauts. As Mars once said, there were only 2,761.
Excellent. So, what's Roche accusing them of? Especially in paragraph 8, Anna Carolina. What is Roche accusing them of in plain English? In simple English, what's he accusing them of?
To exaggerate.
Exactly. Big exaggeration. Huge exaggeration. Anna Carolina, would you like to know a very good expression in English?
Sure.
The expression is fudge the numbers.
Thank you.
Fudge the numbers means change the statistics or change the finances. Fudge means to falsify, in this case. Fudge is something you eat. It is very yummy. It's made of, not forge, fudge. It's made of chocolate. It's chocolate fudge. Like a brownie. A little square of brownie is from a big sheet of fudge. You can cut it up in squares and give it away as a brownie. But this is a good expression, because what is Roche saying Mars 1 is doing? Mars 1 is fudging the numbers. Falsifying the numbers, basically. Or exaggerating greatly. Okay, so let's finish up the article and talk about it. We're up to Carmen for number 9.
Okay, he talked about the selection process in more detail. I have not met anyone from Mars 1 in person. Initially, there were going to be regional interviews. We would travel there, we'd be interviewed, and we'd be tested over several days. In my mind, that sounded like a proper astronaut selection process.
Excellent. Okay.
Astronaut.
Question?
Astronaut? How do you pronounce astronaut? Astronaut?
Yeah, that's right. Astronaut.
Astronaut. Okay.
That's right. That's right. Okay, and finishing it up, let's go to Mr. Cornell for 10 and 11.
But all of a sudden, it changed from being a proper regional interview over several days to being a 10-minute Skype call.
That's funny.
Yeah. Roche told The Guardian that he did not want to give more interviews because he didn't want to sound negative about the idea of space travel.
Okay. Say this word again for me. About.
About.
Not boot, but ow. About.
About.
Ow.
How about?
No, not ow about. About. I need to hear the ow.
About.
Perfect. That's it. Because I think when you see the U, you have you want to say it in a Hungarian way. I think that's what it is. Because you're saying a boot, which is okay if you're Canadian. Canadians can say a boot, but Americans and British people say about. Okay, very good, very good. Finishing it up, we've got Raphael for 12 and Shinue for 13. Raphael, take it away, number 12.
He writes, I'm passionate about scientific endeavor, and that is why the ambitions of the Mars 1 plan appealed to me. Mars 1 were never likely to overcome the financial and technical barriers during their proposed timeline. But it was nice to hear a new idea that challenges us to think about our own role in the future of space exploration.
Okay, very good. This paragraph has some really difficult words in it, so repeat after me. Passionate.
Passionate.
With a sh, like sugar. Passionate.
Passionate.
Okay, good, good. This next word is really difficult. Ambitiousness. Ambitiousness. 4 syllables.
Ambitiousness.
Very good, very good. And I think there was oh yeah, and also remember, financial, not, well, I guess you could say financial. No, it's really financial. Financial.
Financial.
Yeah, I can't, financial. I think some people might say an in, but it's, I'm just trying to think if it's a British American thing or not. Financial. Anyway, as an American English speaker, we would say financial. Okay, so that's Roche explaining why he doesn't really want to keep saying nasty things about Mars 1. Shinue, let's finish it up with the last paragraph, number 13, please.
Number 13, he said that being part of the public debate about future missions has been one of the most interesting and enjoyable aspects of his involvement with Mars One. He went on to say that if a one-way mission to Mars ever became possible, I would always volunteer. For an astrophysicist, that is not a difficult decision to make, but he does not think there will be a one-way mission in his lifetime.
Okay, very good. That word is tricky. Astrophysicist.
Astrophysicist.
Don't forget the S. The S sounds like a Z. Phys.
Astrophysicist.
That's it. Perfect. Wow. So what do you think, class? What do you think about Mars 1? And are you surprised that one of the shortlisted candidates said what he said?
I think the mission is romantic. I would pay money for this trip. I would send my wife to this trip. That's all.
You better ask her if she wants to go first.
I don't like her. She is always complaining about me. I don't earn enough money. I should send her to the Mars.
I hear there's a lot of exciting things happening on Mars, so maybe she'll enjoy it.
Teacher, I have to say goodbye to you. My wife is calling me to have supper.
Okay, and have fun on Mars. Bye for now. So, first of all, class, what is Joseph Roche's job? Let's be clear about that. What kind of person is he? What does he do for a profession? Did you catch that? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
Astrophysicist, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's correct. Astrophysicist.
Okay, astrophysicist.
Okay. So,
what is that?
I'm sorry, say again? Repeat?
So what is that? I don't know what it is.
So I don't want to tell you. I want you to guess, and I want us together to figure it out. Astro means what, class? Cornell is eager to tell us. I can tell.
Planets and that sort of thing.
Yeah. And physicist? Physics?
Physics is physics. I don't know how to explain it.
Deals with what? Not fish.
Deals with...
Not dogs.
No.
Deals with what?
Gravity, acceleration, that sort of things.
Okay, gravity is one topic, sure. Anyone else want to add anything to our definition of physics so we can figure out what astrophysics is? Really? Nobody?
Thank you! Nobody wants to help me.
Anna Carolina? Nobody? Really? What else does physics deal with besides something like gravity? What do you think? No?
Acceleration? I don't know.
Well, let's put it this way. Fundamental forces. Fundamental forces. The forces that underlie everything. So not just gravity, but gravity, the atomic forces, energy. So matter and energy are considered the same thing. So energy and gravity. We don't know what gravity is. We think we know what energy is, more or less. And then we've got these subatomic forces, which are very peculiar that we don't understand. So physics is dealing with that. So looking at that, but not here, not here on Earth, or not on the microscopic level, but on the macroscopic level out in the universe. So dealing with physics out there. So probably gravity will be their main topic, because we can really study gravity by looking out. It's hard to study gravity looking in at the microscopic level. Okay, so do you think Roche is qualified to make these complaints, Carmen?
Of course he is. He knows what he's talking about, yeah.
Exactly, he knows what he's talking about. So they shortlisted the wrong guy if they were just playing games. They shortlisted the wrong guy. Let's see. There's another question I wanted to ask you. Okay, and let's clarify something else. Why is Roche skeptical about the way the astronauts were selected for the short list? Why is he skeptical, based on what we read? What's your impression? Remember, you don't have to be right. This article is it's intermediate level, but there's a lot of difficult vocabulary. Okay, so what do you think, class?
It says the process was not rigorous enough. I mean, when they selected those possible astronauts, the selection was not rigorous enough.
Okay, so one problem is that it wasn't rigorous enough. That's one problem. I think there's even a bigger problem. But I agree with you. It's not rigorous. What else, class? Anna Carolina, are you there? Are you here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But listen, you don't have to know the answers. We're brainstorming together. But I do want to hear everyone participate. Rafael, are you there? Too? I just want to make sure everyone's here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is the article? Do you think the article is too difficult?
No, there are several words that is difficult to get the pronunciation of, to get the meaning, but the article, I think, is according.
Okay. If there's any questions about the meaning of words or about the article, just ask. Okay, I'll be happy to clarify things, and we'll find a good way to make it clear to you. Okay? So, last question. I'm just curious, from what you read, why is he skeptical? Why is Roche skeptical? Carmen said that the selection process wasn't rigorous enough. Okay, I think that is part of it. Would you add anything to that? Hannah, Raphael, Cornell, Chinue?
Skeptical is someone who doesn't believe easily in anything.
So you think Roche is skeptical?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Is that because he's a difficult person, or because he's got a reason to be skeptical? What do you think, Anna Carolina? Is he right to be skeptical, in your opinion?
Let me think.
Sure.
My gosh, I guess. Yes, he has some reasons.
Well, for one, he's a scientist, so scientists have to be skeptical. It's part of their jobs, right? So that's part of it. I'll try to remind you of one thing I recall from the article. What about the interview process? Remember, there was something strange about the interview process. Think back for a minute.
It was via Skype.
It was via Skype, exactly. You would expect in this series to have a interview where they fly you somewhere, right? Something. What was that word when you meet someone face to face? in
person.
You would expect it to be in person, wouldn't you? So it didn't seem like the interview process was very serious. It was just a quick Skype call, as if they really didn't care who was applying or whatever. And they fudged the numbers. Remember? He claims that there's not 200,000. He claims that there's 2,000 people. That's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, listen, I think we're going to have to stop here. But I invite you to do the exercises that you see after the article. There's an exercise for collocations where you're matching. And then there's a discussion part, some of which we were talking about now. If you want to do either of those exercises, I'll be happy to correct your answers. You can send them to me through the message window, and I'll correct them and send them back. And later today, I think I can actually put the answers for you in the last page. So maybe you could even self-correct and then ask me if there's anything you want to clarify. All right? And by the way, if you think that these articles are too difficult, or there's something you'd like to change about the class, just let me know, and I'll definitely keep it in mind. Okay? Because when everyone is quiet, it gets me worried. It makes me think that I'm giving material that's too hard. And I don't want it to be too hard. I want it to be just right. Okay? All right. So I'll be back to start the business class in just a minute. Thanks for participating. And the next Hot Topics class, next Wednesday at the same hour. And what else? That's it. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.